Hello everyone, my name is Adam and I am a student at the University of Birmingham. And today I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about how we can figure out the colours dinosaurs used to be. I've also added some colouring in pages of different dinosaurs for you guys to have a go at, drawn by my very talented friend Jack Wood. Jack does some amazing paleo art, so if you are interested in his work, you can look at what he does using the links on here. So you can either watch this video and colour them in accurately, or colour them in now and see how close you got them to being right by watching this video. Or go wild and colour them in how you like, it's up to you. So, the colours of dinosaurs. For years it was believed that we would never really know the true colour of dinosaurs because the fossil record is biased towards only preserving the hard parts of an organism, like their bones and their teeth. This is because the bones and teeth are really tough, so they are the last to decompose and are more likely to not be destroyed in the fossilization process. This means that the skin, the fur, and the feathers of the animal rarely ever preserve, and even if they are preserved, they have been turned into rock. So that means we can never really know what colour most extinct animals are because those body parts don't preserve. And that's a real shame because colour is a vital and really interesting part of how animals interact with each other and with their environment. Many animals are brightly coloured, especially birds, the descendants and closest living relatives of dinosaurs. They often use these bright colours to attract mates and intimidate competitors and/or predators. On the other hand, many animals have evolved colours they use as camouflage. They use their colour to blend into their environment or to mimic other things, like leaves, so they aren't detected by potential predators and prey they are trying to catch. So colour can tell you a lot about an animal's behaviour and its environment, and the fact that we lack this information for extinct animals like dinosaurs is frustrating. Enter Sinoseraptorix. This is a theropod dinosaur, meaning it walked on two legs. It was quite small, only about a metre long, and was discovered in the late 90s in China, and it was discovered to have feathers preserved as well. Then, in 2017, paleontologists realised that the feathers were so well preserved that when they looked at them through a microscope, they even had preserved melanosomes. Melanosomes are components of our cells, and they contain the pigment melanin. The shape, orientation, and abundance of these pigments gives things like our eyes, skin, and hair their colour. Melanosomes are also found in the feathers of birds, and scientists realized that they could compare the melanosomes in the fossil feathers to the melanosomes in modern bird feathers, and work out what colour the fossil feathers would have been. So what colour was Cyanosyropteryx? Orange. It had an orange and white striped tail and a bandit mask on its face, and a predominantly orange body. It also showed countershading, a pattern on its body where it is dark on top and light underneath. Many modern animals have this pattern too, and it is used as a form of camouflage, breaking up the silhouette of the animal a little bit so it can't be seen as well by predators. Cyanosyropteryx was one of the first dinosaurs whose colours were discovered, but it was by no means the last. One of my favourites is Microraptor, a small member of the raptor dinosaur family called Dromaeosaurs, and was also from China. This amazing dinosaur had 4 wings on each of its limbs that it used to glide from tree to tree. When paleontologists reconstructed its colours, they found it was mainly black, but it also had iridescence, similar to many modern day birds. They likely used this for display to attract mates, and that meant they were likely active during the night and day. The colours of some non-theropod dinosaurs have also been discovered. Cytakosaurus is a small ceratopsian dinosaur, so it's a member of the same family as the famous Triceratops, and it had beigey orangey colours, likely used as camouflage, and also had countershading. Countershading is very common on animals that are smaller and at risk from predators. In the modern day, the biggest land animals like rhinos and elephants don't have countershading because they are so big they don't need the camouflage to protect them from predators. This made things interesting when they discovered Borealepauta, a nodosaur from Canada, that was exquisitely preserved. Whilst they didn't find melanosomes in the fossil, they found the chemical signatures of the melanosomes in the rock, and they used this to reconstruct the colour. Borealepauta was also an orangey rusty colour, and also exhibited countershading, despite the fact that it has been estimated to have weighed over 1,300 kilograms. The fact that it was that big, had so much defensive armour, and had countershading meant that the predators that Borealepauta would have been facing must have been extremely large and dangerous, and relied on sight especially. Unfortunately, the conditions needed to preserve melanosomes and their chemical traces are very rare, so for many dinosaurs, like Stegosaurus and Tyrannosaurus, we may never know what colour they actually were. But the dinosaurs we have managed to reconstruct accurately are fascinating, not only because we can now visualize them accurately, but we can learn even more about their behavior and their environment from the inferences we can make, simply from knowing what color they were. So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to check out the amazing work that Jack Wood has done, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the festival.